you want to be as skilled as you can be, and you want to work as hard as you can work, and you want to make the golden rule to just tell the truth as best you can. And so that would be my advice, is to just outwork last year's version of yourself. I wouldn't even want to make it about other people and say outwork your competition. Just work harder than you did last year. Work harder than you did yesterday. Work harder than you did the hour before right now, and put more pressure on yourself to perform and to push yourself.
God looks like he's pulling you back. Eventually he's going to let you go. And the farther he pulls you back, once he releases you, boom.
Are you a superhero to your kid?
Absolutely.
Not when your boss is in the room. What's best for your kids is to put your money into something, the stress, go through all of it, so when your child becomes a man, he doesn't have to work for nobody.
Right, well, that's the
you
whole
can
thing.
just pass it to him. Can another man say you're fired?
Absolutely.
No one can tell me that. That's priceless. Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss? Don't you think your son would rather wake up with you and you could pick him up from school instead of having to do a 9 to 5? Don't you think your son would love if his name was up there? I taught my son never to have a boss. He's 23. He owns a restaurant. He has cookies. He has equity. He busts his ass so he can pass it on to his son. If that's not what you're hustling for, you're selfish. You keep saying I'm worried about my kids. You worried about you. My kids, you enjoy the safety and the security of a job every day. But there's no pride in that to me. But when you do something that's for yourself and your family, it never feels like work. I hustle for my last name. I don't hustle for my first.
What moment in your career where you felt like, or in your life when you felt like, oh no, I got this shit?
When I started this shit. One thing about me, bro, when I got my mind locked on some shit, ain't no ending to it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna stop till I get that shit. Prime example, niggas thought I was done. I had my mind locked on this shit, you know what I'm saying? I was locked the fuck in, like these niggas.
Yeah.
I had to prove something like, these niggas thought it was over with, but they didn't know what the hell I had going on in the background. So I knew this shit was still strong. I knew the foundation, the fans were still there. I was still torn. Still had the base.
Right.
As long as you got the base, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be on the mainstream. You ain't gotta be in the spotlight. You got the base. You can go tour. You got them do your shit, and you straight. You know what I'm saying?
And cater to them.
Yeah, it's two different worlds, but you know what I'm saying? I play both worlds real well now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, my goal is to be the biggest, you know what I'm saying? Biggest exec, biggest artist, you know what I'm saying? That's still the goal. But
and it's still possible. You got plenty of time.
I ain't chasing what everybody chasing.
Right.
At that point, I done made my mind up. Like, I'm not chasing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Show me where the money at. Y'all can have the clout. Show me where the money at.
I don't expect nothing to go the way I planned it. I anticipate any shortcomings or anything that could happen. So if they do, I deal with them like I was prepared for them. I deal with them like they was a part of the plan. You see? If you expect anything to go any way you planned on it, nigga, don't be shocked if it don't. Be ready. We finna make it happen either way. Either way it go, we finna make it happen. That's the mindset. I don't give a, either way it go. I might have thought it was gonna take an hour and it took a week. I don't give a fuck, as long as the end result is I got it done. That's it. Scratch that off the bucket list. We moving on to the next one.
I think as human beings, everybody has a natural gift and a natural passion, but then you go outside and you get influenced and you feel pressure from what's going on outside. And so, you know, I read one time, like, would you rather be at war with yourself and at peace with the world, or at peace with yourself and at war with the world? And that was powerful for me, you know what I'm saying? Right.
I'm sick of that shit. Everybody's depressed because they're trying to fit into a puzzle. They're trying to be a fucking circle in a square. And you're told what to do, and you're told what to eat, and you're told what's good and bad, and what the perspective of success is. Success is love. Success is your family. Success is how much you laugh. I don't care how much money you got in the bank. If you got a crooked smile, if your people around you don't want to be around, your breath stinks and all that other shit, you're broke. Period. Right. You're broke. If you have nothing to fight for, you're broke. You have nothing to love, you broke. Period.
Take care of you. If you ain't good, you know what I'm saying, ain't nothing around you gonna be good. Just make sure your insides and your core and your internal self is pure, and everything else will flow. The world will flow with you, energy will flow with you, you know what I'm saying? Just be real, present, and in tune with yourself and the world. You all right.
I feel like you gotta embrace your position. you know what I mean, and not shy away from it. You a leader, people following you. So you gotta lead people to the lake and to success, because people gonna follow you regardless, whether you embrace it or not.
That's the definition of a boss. It's the definition of a father.
Mm-hmm.
It's the definition of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're too used to not being 100% what we're meant to be.
Right.
Yeah, we're not supposed to be working for somebody. We're supposed to be taking care of our family. We're supposed to be making it easy for the people we love. We're not so. If you are all right with your kids having to go through the same exact problems that you had, then what you here for?
Right.
And a life without a purpose is not a life. It's a depressed existence.
Destruction, a risky business, and going against the grain. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. I don't know how. It's radicals, you know what I'm saying?